how I'm firing. I'm strong. I'm strong. I'm strong. Strong.
All right, guys, we are back. Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy CMB checking in. And today, guys, we're going to be discussing something that I've been putting off because this one here, I had high hopes for him. And I don't know, man. I don't know where his head's at right now. Let me just say that. We're discussing Jaron Boots Ennis. Now, Jaron Ennis, you guys know, when he came on the scene, he was being touted as the next Boogeyman at 147, coming behind Earl the True Spence Jr. And it was plain to see why. Here was a guy, very athletic, very gifted, tall, rangy fighter, power in both hands, can switch from right to left and left to right. Just, he just had it all. He had all these physical attributes to make him this, this towering and imposing figure. And his goal, pretty much like Errol Spence Jr., was to become undisputed at 147 pounds. Now, as of late, Jaron Boots Ennis has been getting a lot of criticism. And at first, I didn't understand why. I'll say this because Jaron Ennis made it clear. He made it clear that he wanted to become undisputed at 147. He also made it clear that he didn't have a problem making the weight for 147, despite what people were saying. So when he defeated Stanionis, who was the WBA champion, just keep in mind, Jaron, that was his first time actually winning a title, because he was elevated to the IBF champion after Terrence Bud Crawford vacated the title. That was his first win. So, of course, the next fight that everybody wanted to see was him and Brian Norman Jr. Now, that fight fell through for whatever reason. I don't know why. And then Jaron announces later on that he's moving to 154 pounds. And that's where I started to feel slighted by Jaron Boots Ennis, because he's always said that he wanted to become undisputed at 147. He turned down the Teofimo Lopez fight because he said that Teofimo didn't offer anything to him because he wasn't a champion at 147. His goal was to become undisputed. You guys know that. Teofimo Lopez fights at 140. And so I took him for his word at that. Now, coming to find out that, despite him not fighting Brian Norman Jr., the fight that everybody wanted to see, we see Devin Haney is fighting Brian Norman Jr., and he lets the cat out of the bag that he tried to get a fight with Jaron Boots Ennis at 147. And Jaron Boots Ennis wanted the fight to be at 152. Keep in mind, Jaron Boots Ennis fights at 147. Jaron Boots Ennis was a champion at 147. Jaron Boots Ennis said that he wanted to become undisputed at 147. So yeah, I'm looking at that. I know hindsight's 20/20, but I'm looking at it now, and I'm looking at it in a different light. You're turning down all these big fights: Teofimo Lopez, Devin the Dream Haney. You didn't make the fight with Brian Norman Jr. And now you're going to 154 and you want a tune-up, which I get. When fighters go to a new weight class, I don't have a problem with them having a tune-up. But you're leaving money on the table. You could have had all these huge lucrative fights, and the optics, I would say, they just look bad for a guy who's supposed to be this boogeyman. You're not fighting these guys. Now you're looking at fighting a tune-up before you fight someone like Virgil Ortiz. It just looks bad. You're not looking like a boogeyman. You're looking like a guy who's being chased by the boogeyman. And as a boxing fan of Boots, I'm a little bit disappointed in Boots. And I'm curious to know, is his heart in it? Does he not really want to fight anymore? Is it his management? You know, are they moving him wrong? What is the deal? Because this guy, he's extremely gifted. He's a gifted athlete, and he should be fighting the best competition out there. In all honesty, I wish he would have stayed at 147, fought Brian Norman Jr. and all these guys that were coming up to 147. Teofimo Lopez, Devin Haney, who else? Ryan Garcia, Rolly. You had great fights there. If you didn't have problems making weight, like you said you did not have problem making 147. So were you telling the truth, or were you telling a lie? I mean, which one is it? We just don't know. But now that you're going to 154, you know, I wouldn't say the names are as huge at 154 than the names that are coming into 147 or the bigger names. There is Thurman. That's a great fight. Keith one-time Thurman. He's been talking down on you. I think that's some business you could handle there. Sebastian Fundora coming off of a great win, defending his WBC title against Tim Tszyu, making Tim Tszyu quit in the fight. Those are some fights that you should be looking at to get back in the game. Get off the bench and get back into the game. You're Jaron Boots Ennis. You were the next big thing. You were supposed to be the boogeyman. And now you look like I'm not saying that you are, but you look like you're the guy that's hiding up under the table, afraid of the boogeyman. But anyway, I just wanted to get my 2 cents on that. I really didn't want to, but I keep it real. I keep it real on this channel. And I know I've been putting this off for a while because, you know, I like Jaron Boots Ennis. I think he's a very gifted athlete, and I just had a lot of high hopes for him. But anyway, you guys let me know what you think about this in the comments section. It's the CMB. I'll talk to you guys in the next one. And I'm out. Peace.